welcome back to Pete the Surfaroo on My Car segment today. And of course we've got our auto brake specialist here, Mr. Brendan.
How you going, mate?
Good, mate, yourself?
Good, not too bad.
And mate, today we're looking at the car for brakes and all the things that go wrong with it.
Yes.
Just for the viewers out there, just to what happens and what do we look for in a car when the brakes are going?
Okay, usually it's the feel of the pedal. If the pedal starts to feel a little bit odd to what compared to you used to, there's obviously a problem there. Also, we're looking for excessive dust around the front wheels. That's another sign of it.
Yes.
And also your braking performance. If your braking performance starting to dwindle, it's a good sign they're getting low and need attention. So
cool. And also with the handbrake, I noticed on this car here, it's coming back quite a while and it's not gripping when you put it into park and all that. So signs of going as well.
Handbrakes and all that, they do have an adjustment on them.
Yes.
With your latest brakes these days, most of them are disc, so they don't really have an adjustment on them. But when you go to drum brakes and your handbrakes, they do have an adjustment on them. So you've got to keep that adjustment up to recommend it to standards. So
sounds good, mate. Now we're going to go underneath the car and show you the viewers how it actually all happens. What are we actually going to be looking for now when it goes up?
When we go up, we'll be checking for wheel bearing play on the front end. We'll also be checking the tyres, making sure there's nothing odd about the tyres. Because we eliminate everything before we get into the brakes. Then once we've got the tyres off, we'll go through all the measurements, checking your brake fluid and checking all the disc measurements.
Sounds good, mate. Viewers, ready to go? We'll go underneath the car and check it out, and we'll be back shortly with some more info on brakes today. We'll see you soon.
Woo! We're just going to rip all the wheels off now, get them onto the ground, and then we'll follow through with our measurements and our inspection on the brakes. Okay, now we've got all the wheels off, we're going to go through do your visual inspection on your brakes, i.e. the discs, and checking the pads and the thickness of the pads. So we'll go through each wheel and we'll do that one and write down our measurements. Specialised caliper, which is a measurer for the discs, and it gets into those little grooves that normal calipers don't. Okay, once we've measured all the discs and we've got all our dimensions down for the disc sizes, we've gone through the books and checked on the minimum size, because every disc has a minimum thickness, which is the machinable thickness on this rotor area here. So we've measured through here, we've got a 24.3 measurement, which is quite good. Your minimum on these is 22. So you've got another about 2 mil clearance. Then we grab our light, and we look at our disc thickness here on the inner and outer pad. What we're looking for is the actual thickness of the material from the backing plate to the disc, which is that thickness there. That's a brand new pad, of course, so they can get down anywhere to 80% worn on these. So these ones here, in total, you're looking at about 10% worn, so there's not very much worn off these brakes, so they're pretty good. Okay, we've moved our caliper. Now we can get into the handbrake side of things. So we're going to get this disc off here. Inside here we have our handbrake linings. Look at the distance we've got left on the linings themselves. These ones here in particular are pretty good. We look at the surface inside the drum, inside the disc here. It's not too bad. There's not very many grooves or cavities in it, so we can reuse that, not a problem. So on this car it's just a matter of readjusting the rear handbrake, getting it all up to scratch and up to specs. And that should put that one in the good books. Don't want these ones too tight. They do have a tendency of, once the temperature gets into the handbrake linings, they can swell and they can lock the back brakes on if they're adjusted up too much. So it is quite detrimental on how far you adjust them. That one there is just good, nice easy turning. And you can just hear the linings hitting the drum, so that's perfect. So then we can go on to the other side now, and with that side we'll get this caliper back on and we're all finished this side. Okay, finally, after we've done all the checks on the wheels, made sure everything's within specifications, we've got to test your brake fluid, which is up underneath the bonnet here on your master cylinder. This is your brake master cylinder, that's what controls all the fluid going to the wheels. We've got a little machine here, measures moisture content in brake fluid. Because brake fluid is a porous material, fluid, it attracts moisture very easily. So what we've got to do, we've got to measure the moisture content. Once it reaches a certain area, we must replace that fluid. So all it is, you stick it in, you push the button. You'll see the little red lights come up to the yellow. So she's just in good specifications. So that moisture content's getting a little high in it, but it's not high enough to warrant replacing the fluid as yet. So we could leave that one go till the next time. So everything's fine.
Mr. Brendan, we're all done.
No worries, no worries. All done. Wheels are back on. Inspection's passed.
Cool.
So you'll be right for another 10,000 now if you get them checked on your periodical servicing.
Yes.
We'll keep up the speed with them.
Sounds good. We're ready to surf the roads again with our car. Guys, if you have any problems with your brakes, you know where to go. ABS here. And of course, it's all happening here at our brake discount place.
That's the one.
Sounds good. Mate, all the best.
No worries.
We'll see you around soon.
Woo!